Video out to you. I actually tried to do the recording 2 times, and the video keeps cutting out. So it's a little bit of a technology problem on my end, but I think it's all in divine timing. So I'm actually in a different location. The setup is a little bit different. I hope you can see the cards. There's a little bit of a glare. I apologize. So like I told all the other signs, I'm using a different spread, and this is something I'm implementing for this month, mainly because it touches on all areas of your life. It reflects the 12 houses of the astrological natal wheel. And I pulled out a card for each house, and we're going to go over your entire, pretty much, the 12 sectors of your life. And then after that, I'm going to do your love relationship reading, okay? I know that it looks a little bit daunting, but I'm going to explain the cards and how the energies work as I get through it, okay? So bear with me. So let's talk about the first card that comes out, and the first house represents this first card right here, the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. The first house is how other people see you. The image that you project into the world is considered classically in astrology, the rising sign or the ascendant, pretty much the mask that you put on as you project your image into the world, okay? It might not be a reflection of how you feel internally, but this is just the way that other people perceive you. So first of all, we have here the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse position. The Ace of Pentacles in the reverse indicates there is some type of a financial struggle that you have either overcome or you are dealing with right now. And a lot of the times with the Ace of Pentacles, as it pertains to like people, getting new jobs, getting new types of employment, doing something part-time, or getting money in a way that is considered non-traditional. So it could be like even self-employment, selling your arts and crafts here and there in different locations, for example, in order to get money. But either way, it indicates a situation that might not be entirely stable. So your financial situation might fluctuate from month to month. So if you're working on a commission basis, for example, I do feel that it is a situation where financially you might, have different earnings based on the month. So this is the way that people see you. On top of that, with the Ace of Pentacles, the Pentacle suit indicates practicality, reliability, and just somebody who is stable. When it shows up in the reverse position, there might be, people might perceive you as like being somewhat unavailable. So this can be physically unavailable or emotionally unavailable. So they're having a difficult time understanding your motives. They're having a difficult time understanding even disappearing from the social scene. And we see you as it relates to like family members, co-workers, and things like that. I feel you like retreating into your shell a little bit, okay? It's neither good nor bad, but we're going to go over the rest of the cards and see how they all link up together. Your second house deals with your money and your value system, and is represented by the moon in the reverse position. First of all, let's talk about your financial situation. Whatever you've been dealing with for this past year when it comes to hang-ups regarding financial dealings, when it comes to like hang-ups regarding, even terms of contracts, how much you're making, how much your salary dictates, or how much commission you're making if you're working on a commission basis. With the moon in the reverse, it basically means, some clarity regarding financial dealings, regarding how much money is coming through for you. And I feel overall a more stable financial situation. So whatever information you were waiting on, or whatever like uncertainty you were dealing with as it relates to your finances, it is clearing up for this month. So this is a very, very good card that indicates whatever confusion is basically, there is light shed on it so that you can move on, so that you can have the information you need, so that you can, do a little bit more long-term financial planning. As it relates to your value system, the moon card, this is more of the maternal side. So whatever values that you grew up with, I feel that for many of you, it was transmitted through the maternal side of the family. So I feel a lot of people have, very, very good positive relationships with the mother figure in your life. And I feel that, she might have been somebody that really taught you all the things that you need to know. So in terms of value system, I do feel that a lot of you have taken on, the values transmitted through from the maternal line of the family. And I feel that that has really guided your ethics, your moral code of conduct as you go through life. So in simpler terms, as it relates to like how values are being, are being exercised, getting a lot more a definitive answer as it relates to what we value, what we believe in, who and what we can trust in, okay? So overall, a very, very good card, all right? The third house deals with siblings and communication. We have the world in the upright position. So first of all, as it relates to your siblings, a lot of you might be at a geographical distance from family members and especially your siblings, okay? So a lot of you might have like ventured out on your own. Sagittarius love to travel. So many of you might not have settled in the, same environment or the same place that you grew up in. This is a card that indicates overseas travel too. So you might literally be overseas from a sibling or family members that you consider siblings. And for those of you who are single, you're like the single child, you're the only child within the family. The world basically indicates a person who loves to travel, who loves to expand their horizon philosophically or even geographically. So you might be, the one that breaks out of the norms and, settle far away from the family unit. They're also indicating a lot of blessings and a lot of help and a lot of assistance, financial or emotional assistance coming through from siblings as well. For many of you with siblings, I do feel there might be news and things like that, plans to either visit a sibling or vice versa. They're coming to visit you from afar. So there's a lot of good, positive news regarding siblings. Those of you who are, like if your sibling is in school, this is indicative of like finishing up something in their lives, okay? They might be retiring. They might just be, planning those retirement trips, and vice versa. You could be in a position where, whatever changes is happening in their life, they're going to let you know about it. So you're getting a lot of positive energies coming through in the sibling house. Communication as well. This indicates, a lot of communication from people who might be foreign to you. So different cultural background, different ethnicities, different even language barriers. But I do feel this is a card that indicates like bridging the gap when it comes to communication and communicating in a way that is a lot more philosophical, that is less mundane and a little bit more, on the abstract front. Okay. So very positive card. The fourth house deals with the mother figure, and it also deals with the family unit that you grew up in as a child, the family unit you have created for yourself as an adult right now, or the family unit that you're hoping to one day create for yourself. We have here the sun. And the sun basically indicates a lot of joy, a lot of abundance in an environment, a lot of warmth and appreciation. So let me talk about the mother figure. I feel that many of you have a mother that is considered, very independent, somebody who is career goal oriented, somebody who is, they're courageous. And I do feel that there is a almost an element of a mother figure who is quite either financially independent or very emotionally nurturing, emotionally warm. And it's somebody that you can really rely on in order to help you through life. So, for example, you might have a mother that really, inspires you to finish school. She might have provided the means for you to get through life, finish school, and whenever you might have hit hard times, she might be available for you with financial assistance. Or she might, steer you towards a career track, or she might serve as a mentor to guide you in some way to achieve some aspirations of yours as it relates to your public image and your career. With the sun in the fourth house, in the literal sense, it can also be, growing up in an environment that is very warm, where there are a lot of people around, and it's just, a warm, vibrant, welcoming type of atmosphere. And I feel like a lot of you have a lot of support. Even those with parents that might have passed away, or especially the mother that might have passed away, I do see there is a lot of, I want to say spiritual support from beyond. in order to steer you in the right direction as it relates to your career. Okay, you're getting a lot of spiritual guidance coming through for this month. So it is really important for you to, heed whatever advice, intuitive messages that are coming through for you in your waking state or in your sleep state, so that you can steer yourself towards your career. Your career house is highly, highly lit up, and it's very strong. So if you're in a job where, you feel as if you're not happy, or you feel like there's lack of security with a career path that you can imagine yourself being in the long run, okay? Because you have some divine protection, you have some guidance, spiritual guidance, and you have, a lot of opportunities that will be made available as it pertains to your public image and your career. I feel that some of you might have a mother figure that works in a very, very public environment. She might have a wide following. She might have, some fame and fortune associated with her. All right. So positive card. Also, just a reminder, watch your sun sign, your rising sign, and then your moon sign. Okay. Because it follows the 12 houses of the, astrological natal wheel. We start with the first house, which is your rising. So watch your sun sign and then your rising. All right. Let me see, the family environment. So I feel like there's a lot of welcoming energy, and I do feel overall that the house environment, there is abundance, okay? There's discipline, but there is abundance to be had in the housing environment that you're in. They're also indicating luck coming through, financial assistance even coming through from family members. So that is, if you have, whoever you're living with, there's some luck coming in, good news coming through, luck coming through, fortune coming through in your environment as it relates to family. So it's very positive. Now this is the fifth house. The fifth house rules creativity. It also rules the house of children. We have here the Four of Pentacles in the reverse position. I do feel for those of you who have children, your own children, there's a little bit of a values differences between you and your children. I do feel children tend to be a little bit stubborn, a little bit headstrong, and there might be a little bit of an ego clash between what you want them to do versus what they want to do with their lives. So once again, I see like this might be a little bit of a sore spot, especially for those with children. The Four of Pentacles, as an advice, it urges you to, release expectation, release outcome, and to, rectify or come to terms with the fact that they are living their own lives, and it's really important for you to support them however they decide to do it. I feel that some of you might have very, very quirky children with, with like alternative views of the world. And I feel like they might just be very non-traditional. They might want to kick up the norms, and they might not, abide by social norms and social expectations, or even your own expectations. So it's really important to, live and let live, and to let them proceed however they feel is appropriate for their lives, okay? As it relates to fun, recreation, and things like that, how you entertain yourself and how you find enjoyment in life, as well as the things that you just, gravitate to as it, when you seek emotional fulfillment, or when you seek like recreational activities. The Four of Pentacles, once again, is a card about upturning expectations. So whatever preconceived notions we have held on to, I feel that many of you are going to be breaking out of your norms as to how you entertain yourself. So this is a card about, holding on very, very tightly to our finances and our value system. This is a card about releasing it. This is a card about, softening up, not being too rigid or too stubborn, and exploring and, finding new ways, alternative ways of entertaining ourselves, or alternative ways of doing things out of the norm, I feel. So, I feel a lot of you are breaking out, interacting with people who might be very, very different from you, which is always good. It brings a different perspective. And in the process of interacting with other people who might be very different from you, they are somewhat like dismantling, not in an abrupt way, but they are somewhat dismantling some of the preconceived notions that you might have held, okay, which is good. It's always good to, see other people's point of view, and to be either challenged or convinced otherwise when we interact with other people. The Four of Pentacles as well is letting go of old ways, like releasing. You know, he's no longer hanging on tightly. He's releasing maybe unhealthy ways that you might have entertained yourself in the past, such as escapism, you know, reverting to unhealthy habits in order to fulfill some type of a void. So this is pretty much about releasing some habits, releasing some people. If you find yourself like constantly going out with, you know, the same type of people, house deals with work, health, and your daily routine. There's going to be some disruption to the daily routine, okay? And I feel overall, Sagittarius, you're not somebody who is very fixed in you don't have like a specific, you know, schedule that you abide by. But for those of you who might have like a strict schedule where, you know, you either go to work at a certain time, then you go home, and then you go to the gym. Like if you had a very, very fixed routine, if everything in your life is like, you know, routinized somewhat, as much as possible, routinized, there is either shifting around a lot, moving around a lot, or there is going to be something unusual in the routine as it pertains to, you know, things that you do on a regular basis. As it pertains to work, once again, I feel that some of you are doing, you know, finding other ways to make money, or you're doing something that other people would classify or consider like an unconventional mode of employment. The Hierophant in the reverse, this is a card about order and structure and stability. When it shows up in the reverse, it basically means overturning all of that. So for example, if we as a society consider a regular 9-to-5 job, for example, as, you know, something that is a little bit more conventional, I do feel a lot of you are finding alternative methods of doing that is different. So that is unique, that is different, and that is consider unconventional. Unconventional is not always bad. It's just, you know, you have your own creative flair. A lot of you might be working remotely. A lot of you might be working like self-employed, or even working without a base salary and just purely on a commission basis. So I do sense unconventionality as it relates to how you make money and the work environment that you're in. What I'm also feeling when it comes to health situation as well. The Hierophant, this is showing up here. It's the major arcana card, so it is a little bit important. It's really important beginning of the year anyways to do some, you know, overall like do a thorough screening when it comes to your health. So if you have the capabilities to do that, try to get that done, okay? I'm inclined to say that when it comes to the Hierophant, which indicates like structure and things like that, look into, you know, bone issues, back pain, and things related to like the structure, the physical structure of the body, okay? So doing some, you know, getting a session with the doctor, or even like a chiropractor to realign your whole body, or doing some like chakra clearing or chakra realignment meditation, that is also going to be good for you. And with the Hierophant reverse, it's also, you know, resorting to alternative methods of healing in order to alleviate some type of health issue as well, okay? Now, the 7th house deals with your relationships and partnerships. So this can be partnerships in love, romance, or a business partnership. We have the Knight of Cups, and I believe one of the signs, I believe it might have been Capricorn or Aquarius that have the same card. So we have the Knight of Cups. This is a card about a love offer coming through for you in the romance sector as it relates to, you know, romance, romantic partnership. So this is a water sign. This could literally be a person that you are dealing with, involved with in a relationship right now. This is a water sign, a sun, moon, or rising, Pisces, Cancer, or a Scorpio. This is somebody who is coming through. They are a little bit shy, and I do feel that it either comes in as a peace offering or an offer, a big, big, big gesture of love and appreciation, okay? So a very positive energy. This is a person that is a little bit shy. They're not like, you know, they're not a very assertive type of a person, but this is not just somebody that you're dating. I feel that this is somebody that many of you are physically, like romantically involved with, and they are a little bit skittish, they're a little bit shy, and they do take a really long time to make up their mind, so that might be a little bit of a cause of frustration for some of you. Because you are a fire sign, you're a cardinal sign, you're very I feel like you're very like proactive, and this person is a little bit more reactive. They need to gauge your, they need to assess your actions in order for them to react. So just be very patient with this person. As it relates to work partnerships as well, and I feel like work partnerships and people that you are either linked up with financially somehow in a business. This is also a really, really good card that indicates, smooth transactions and smooth dealings with partners overall. So very positive card. New ideas coming through from partners, okay? So business partners and even romantic partners. So if you've had problems in the past with a romantic partner or even a romantic or even a business partner, there's going to be some peace offering, mutual agreement, and even contracts signed, new contracts being signed, and it's going to really make you feel quite emotionally stable. Okay, so Cancer, Scorpio, their sun, moon, or rising. Give me just 1 second here. So I'm looking at the Suit of Cups, and it's linked up here with the 12th house. So usually when I read this spread, I think about, which sector it links up with. And the 12th house deals with things that are in your environment that you're not really sure of. So for example, if you're not really sure if you can trust your partner, I do feel that this is somebody who has good intentions, has a good heart, and they can come through for you when you need them, okay? So there's going to be some type of emotional support and outpouring of love coming through from a partner. So if you've been kind of like on the outs with them and you're not really sure where you stand with them, I do feel there is some coming together with a partner. So the 8th house deals with joint finances, and it's a house of sex, death, rebirth, and regeneration. It's a little bit complicated, but it's considered a psychic house. And as it relates, just for simplicity's sake, when we're dealing with this spread, I'm going to look at this house as purely, joint finances. I feel that a lot of you, if you are financially linked up with another person, I feel that you are bearing the weight of the responsibilities in that union. So this is you, the Suit of Wands, showing up as being inundated, having a lot of things on your plate, having many, many, many things to take care of, either expenditures, obligations, and things like that. So you might have felt like you were very alone and stuck in, having to uphold all the responsibilities. And if this is take care of it and have a discussion about who's chipping in order to, maintain balance in that. Some of you, if you feel that you are bearing the brunt of the responsibility in some type of a joint partnership, or if you are linked up financially with another person, it's really important for you to rectify this, all right? And for those of you who are like doing it on your own, this is the card about having a lot of responsibilities. The image of the single mother, single father coming to mind. And this is somebody who's inundated with a lot of chores, a lot of things, little things that creep up here and there. And then having to, find ways to manage them, or find, shortcuts to manage them. So having a little bit, your routine house is a little bit weak as well. It's a little bit disrupted. So finding ways to take care of responsibilities before they pile up, washing your dishes right after you use them, rather than waiting until, the end of the week, the end of the month, for example. Finding a way to restructure your everyday routine is really going to help you with, managing responsibilities. And I know this is not something that applies to all Sagittarius, but from a lot of Sagittarius, I feel that a lot of you overestimate the amount of time you have. You overestimate your capabilities, and that's not always a bad thing, because I feel like you're generally very optimistic, but a lot of the times you stretch yourself too thin. And then sometimes, for example, if you have to take care of like many things, right, you're just like, okay, I'm going to set aside 3 hours and I can get all of that done. I feel like many times you overestimate the amount of time you have, and then you end up like being bombarded at the very last minute with everything that you're supposed to do. So having a little bit more of a structure as it relates to your everyday routine having a chores list, and delegate responsibilities. Don't carry this burden by yourself, because if you're, linked up with other people, it doesn't seem fair and it doesn't seem like the smart thing to do. Okay. Be careful of back pain. Be careful of back pain. Be careful of overworking yourself, overexerting yourself. Okay. So just something to keep in mind about. Ninth house deals with higher education. It deals with long-term, long-distance travel. It also deals with philosophies and religion. First of all, we have the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles, this is somebody who's very curious about the world. And this is also a messenger regarding some type of financial news. So as this card relates to your ninth house, it basically means that many of you are either in school, going back to school, or there's going to be even money coming through from school institutions, financial institution. It's the beginning of the year, so you might have like student loans coming through, or even grants, or even scholarships, financial aid, and assistance coming through in the higher education sector. So it's always positive. They're also saying as well, there's going to be plans and, saving, thinking about saving up, or even discussions about travel with an earth sign. So this is a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. And a lot of you might be dealing with this person, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising, who might be a foreigner to you. So extensive dealings, talking, communication with this person who might be a foreigner, okay? Who might be foreign from you. And let me see what else. In terms of philosophies and in terms of religion as well, this is a card about, I think of this as somebody who is expanding their knowledge. They're taking they're taking things that they've learned in school or in life overall, and they're applying it in real life. So this is a card about application, applying what you know into the real world as it relates to, the things that you've learned from school, or even the things that you've learned philosophically, or even, religiously. So very, very good card overall. 10th house deals with your career and your father. So career track and your father. Let me talk about the father figure first, because it's I guess opposite from the 4th house, which deals with your mother. Both of these cards are very, very good overall. I feel that a lot of you grow up in an environment where, whoever you consider to be your father, it is somebody who's very, very regimented, okay? Somebody who's very practical, takes care of responsibilities, take care of the household, and it might be somebody who has a tendency to be a little bit of a pack rat, okay? So collects a lot of stuff, collects a lot of knowledge, collects a lot of news. So it might be somebody who, reads the paper and then just, leaves the paper all over the house. It's not clutter though, but I feel that, they collect a lot of information, and they might just leave things that they've read already rather than throwing them away or recycling them. They pile up their house with a lot of books, or a lot of magazines, or a lot of newspaper. What I'm also feeling with this card is, like I mentioned, it's somebody who's very routinized, who's very regimented with their routine. So this is a card coming through for you to emulate this person. If you really look up to, and I feel like many of you really look up to your father figure, the father that you have in your life, and you're just I wish, he's so organized. I wish I could be like him. Well, they're telling you that actually takes the good qualities that he has and apply it to your routine, because that can really help you. Aim to be a little bit more organized and a little bit more regimented and a little bit more practical as it relates to your everyday operations. For those of you as well with career tracks, I feel that where you are right now is in this environment where things are not entirely stable. Things are a little bit kind of chaotic in your work sector. So you're aiming for that, that really stable foundation. This is a card about generational wealth, something that has been in existence for quite some time, and it keeps growing, it keeps expanding, and it's kind of at the apex of its stability. And so you want a job, you want a career that really generates a lot of money, that's linked up with an institution or something like that, where it's very, very organized, it's very structured. There are protocols and procedures in place so that when you come to work, you know what you're supposed to do, and everyone else knows what they're supposed to do as well. And overall, you do want a job at this point, or a career track that can allow opportunities for you to grow. So for example, government sectors, or even like large corporations, large companies, where you can get a promotion every year or so, where you can get a pay increase depending on how long you've worked there. So you're aiming for this type of a career track. A lot of you might already be in this career track. This is a card as well dealing with the public. So I feel that you're dealing with the public, but not in a way where it's random strangers. You're working among people, trying to build something of value together, okay? Something that is meaningful and something that can pass down values through the generations, such as an institution of higher learning. Your ninth house, higher learning as well, is very well aspected. So I would urge you, to look into this, look into areas or career tracks that deals with higher education, travel, and things like that, because as a Sagittarius, you're ruled by Jupiter, and you also would be it would be beneficial for you to get into this house. This is also your native house, okay? So just something out there to think about. So let me see here. The 11th house deals with friends and group associations. So we have here the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse position. I feel like for some of you, you're doing some, withdrawing from the social scene. There might be a lot of responsibilities creeping in. There might be a lot of obligations overall that you're handling. So there's a little bit of a retreat from, the friendship environment, the limelight as it pertains to friends and group associations. The Seven of Pentacles, this is a card about reassessment, reassessing whether or not the friendships that we have are still meaningful for us moving forward. And with it in the reverse position, I feel that there might have been some people that, they say they're going to be there, but you find out that otherwise, that they might not be the most reliable, that they might not be, I guess, like as truthful and even as honest as you would hope. So this is something to really think about. If it hasn't happened already in December, because we had a Gemini full moon, which is opposite your sign, Sagittarius. So I do feel that, some information might have come to light regarding friendships and group associations, and you might realize that see, whether or not you're going to have to, you're still able to reconnect with those friends, or whether or not you still jive well with them and they add value to your life. Okay, so this is that stage of reassessing is over. I feel a lot of you are making decisions about how to proceed forward with your friends and group associations. Now, the 12th house deals with the house of secrets. It's also a very, very strong psychic house. For the purpose of this reading, I'm just going to say it's something in your environment that you're not aware of, right? So it's a house of secrets. So it's something in your environment that you might not be aware of, or that you might not allow to come to light, okay? So first of all, we have the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups indicates, this is a card about children. Your 5th house is also a little bit problematic, so I do feel disagreements and, possibly even not seeing eye to eye with children. And then on top of that, with the Six of Cups, it indicates past memories. It indicates a situation that is no longer, it has like, its purpose in your life is no longer valid at this point. It's a situation that we've held on for too long, and it has surpassed its expiration date. So they're telling you to leave some things behind, and this is something that you're going to be experiencing through fulfilling relationships. Are going to have to be scrapped away, and they are going to be done for good. All right, I'm going to pull out another card for you just to see what it relates to. Okay, so this Six of Cups, just to see what it relates to. We have here the King of Cups. So if you have this person in your life, I don't feel it's the same person here with this relationship sector. So if you're dealing with this person, this is a a person from your past specifically, okay? This is a card about past memories, past lives even. There is some karma here with this person. This is a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. I feel for many of you, it might literally just be like a sun sign, okay? This is somebody from your past that is no longer meant to be in your life. And I feel that you might be dwelling on it, or it might be they might be coming back in, but it's a relationship that is tainted with like bad memories, and I feel that it might have left a bitter taste in your mouth. So just be aware, and the relationship is no longer valid. It's no longer serving its purpose in your life. So you're going to need to release this and let it go. All right. So I'm going to go into your relationship reading right now. So I left this guy out, and we're going to talk a little bit about him or her. Okay, so this is your 7th house, right? So this is the relationship sector. So I'm going to use this card as we segue into the next part of your reading, which deals with relationships and romance and love and things like that. So with that card, I'm going to... You have somebody in your life that's not letting you move on. They're still like stuck on you. So, and I feel like, you know, the person that I mentioned earlier, that water sign, I feel that they're still very much stuck on you, and they're not letting you move on. I feel that many of you have moved on. And so you're not letting that person back in, but I feel there might have been some, you know, pestering from their end, unable to let go of you from their end. So they're going to come in using, you know, all kinds of tactics to get you to come back. But it's pretty much telling you that the past is what it is. You're looking at it with, they're saying you're looking at it with like a sense of wisdom. And you're seeing it for what it is. Okay, so we have the High Priestess, which is interesting. You're looking at it with wisdom, and you're seeing it for what it is, which is great. And I feel that, you know, fire signs in general, you guys have really, really good heart. And a lot of the times when you're upset, you blow up, and then you get over it. And because you blow up and then you get over it very, very quickly, I feel that it's really easy for you to forgive people. Which is not always, you know, to your benefit. Like, it's always nice to just forgive people and let them go. But I feel that if you're so ready to forgive people and take them back, it's not a good thing, okay? So just try to keep in mind that the past is what it is, and you have to look at situations in hindsight. And once you're away from it, you have a better, more of an objective view, so that you can look at it for what it is and to, you know, accept it and move on. All right? Don't dwell on it. Yeah, so lots of new things coming into the picture, which is great. I'm really happy to see this for you, Sagittarius. Okay. So I feel like some of you are still like dealing with a past partner who won't leave you alone. All right, so let me talk about this card, okay? And I believe I mentioned this. So I think Capricorn or Aquarius got the same card, and I gave them the same message, which is, you know, if you watch tarot videos, you know those oracle cards, I believe they're angel oracle cards, and they tell you about love. I don't use oracle cards, but I do watch them, and this is the card, you know, it's like, it's safe for you to love. It's safe for you to make a gesture, or at least, you know, put in the effort in order to attract new people. Because the new people are not going to be like the old people that you were dealing with, where the relationship was very, very problematic. There might have been manipulation, lies, deception for 1 year. And the number 1 starts out the cycle. So whatever intentions you want to set for yourself, is really important to do it for 27. It's done and over with. You can move on, and it's really important for you to move on still being your optimistic self. So don't let anything in the past deter you from being able to express, goodwill to others. Don't let the past hinder your ability to be optimistic when it comes to love and relationships. I feel that for a lot more planning when it comes to the overall scheme of things in your life, as well as seeing people in a more realistic lens rather than projecting the good qualities that you want to see into them, on them, rather than, seeing them in a realistic lens. So just be careful. And, everyone has their good and their bad traits. Every sign, everybody. And I feel that it's really important for you to somehow, do the math about, writing down that list of pros and cons. And then if someone has like too many cons that you have identified or noticed, it might not be a good idea to be in relationships with them. So really think about your relationships in a way where, is it realistic for me? Do I see myself with this person like 3-5 years down the line, or 3 or 5 months down the line? And so this is a card here about, new energies, flirtatiousness, keeping yourself like emotionally open. But it's somebody who's not appropriate for them. So keep that in mind, okay? It's a very optimistic, abundant energy, which is really good for you guys. But it's also like urging you to soften yourself up a little bit as well as you approach love and relationship. Don't just charge right in. Don't just charge right in. Wait for the other person to come to you. Wait for them to meet you halfway before you give them all of your heart. So don't jump in too quickly. Make sure that they can reciprocate to the manner that you give them, okay? Don't give too much of yourself so early on and then end up, feeling a little bit resentful, feeling a little bit cheated. Just wait for them to meet you halfway, okay? So it is safe for you to be able to express yourself, all right? So let me talk about the foundation. And the foundation deals with a situation that some of you are... we do have the Hermit in the reverse position, as well as the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is a situation where there is conflict. Conflict with another person over values. Conflict with another person over things that you cannot resolve. So these are like irreconcilable differences, and many people cite this as a grounds for divorce. And I feel that if you're involved in a situation with somebody and you're constantly bickering, it just basically means you might love each other, but there is just lack of compatibility overall. What it's also saying as well is some of you might have a relationship that you have let go of, you have moved on from, but this person keeps coming in, keeps pestering you, keep instigating, or keeps wanting a fight. And I feel that this might be a person that, might have walked away, and then as soon as you try to move on with your life, you start dating somebody else, they decide that they want to come back in and they want you back. So just as soon as you've walked away and you are giving your love to somebody else, they come in and then they decide, hey, I want you. So they're telling you this situation is what it is. There isn't enough compatibility. And I feel that in the past, you might have made a lot of the lesson has never been learned. So it's really important for you to look at this situation realistically and just tell yourself, what is their reason for wanting me back? And I feel for many of you, it's because you've moved on and they haven't. And it's done out of a sense of possessiveness rather than love, okay? So they want to keep you hostage. They might not love you the way that you want, but they're afraid that you're going to find somebody else. They're afraid that they're going to lose you. They're afraid you're going to move on. So it's done out of a sense of possession. So just keep that in mind as you deal with the person from your past. Look at it for what it is. Don't idealize the situation, okay? And let it go. In the past position, we have here the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is in the reverse position. The Two of Swords is basically a person who is blindfolded, right? And their third eye is activated. They have a lot of questions and they don't have, proof in the physical world to like either confirm or I guess deny whatever their intuition is telling them. So I feel on the one hand, you've had a lot of suspicions about a person from your past, but on the other hand, you don't have physical evidence. You don't have physical proof. It's just your intuition was nagging at you because that third eye right there is highly activated. And so you kept waiting. You waited and waited and waited for them to slip up, or you waited for the situation to get better. When it's in the reverse position, it basically means you have all the information you need now. All the clarity is coming through. Whatever you were thinking about, I feel that, your intuition was trying to steer you in the right direction so that you don't end up getting hurt. It's linked up here with the High Priestess, which once again is revelation. This is, that veiled wisdom that I mentioned earlier. They're saying that you have basically opened up your eyes. You have seen the situation for what it is, and you had to, just for your protection, just for your emotional well, move away. We have as well, coming into the present situation, the Four of Pentacles. This is a big, big, big release card. It's linked up with the Ten of Swords, and the Ten of Swords is pretty much feeling, betrayed, feeling almost as if it's the end of the line. We can't go back to it for whatever reason. So I feel like some knowledge has recently come into the picture, and you have decided, you have made a decision to move on for good, to leave it behind, and to not dwell on it. But I feel the person is coming back. They're trying to, coax you back, They're trying to reel you back in with some type of a sob story. And I feel that a lot of you are just you are upset at first, but like I said, you're upset, you blow over. And then, they try to act nice, and then it calms you down. And I feel that you are also very, very forgiving of other people. You're accepting of other people's faults. You're very forgiving. And so they're telling you to be careful here, okay? They're going to come back in and feed you some type of a sob story. Be careful. So I feel like some of you might be dealing with this energy where you break up, something bad has happened, you have broken up, and they're going to coax you back in, they're going to reel you in. And then others of you, you left this person behind. You are thinking about new beginnings when it comes to love. You are kind of I think I should try, internet dating. I think I should try speed dating. And I think I should, put myself out there so that I can be seen, so that I can attract new love to me. You're thinking about new love relationships. You're thinking about that ideal love partner that you want, that can really, change your world, that can really make you feel good. It's also linked up here with the Two of Coins, and the Two of Coins in the reverse position. It's basically juggling your practical responsibilities. A lot of you might be very, very busy. You might be single for a while. You're very, very busy, and you're thinking about love, and so you're just okay, I'm going to have to prioritize it so that it comes into my life, because the way things are going right now, I'm not emotionally fulfilled. Work and friendships, they're great on their own, but I feel that for many of you, you're thinking about that true love. You're thinking about finding somebody to spend your time with, to spend your life with. And I feel that you are at a point, you might be 35, 40 in that age group specifically. I do have a lot of viewers in that age group for Sagittarius, and a lot of private clients too. So in this age group, you might be thinking about settling down, having a home, spending your life with another person, and finding that person to spend your life with. So I feel like you're doing some major is always great. And figuring out what we need as an individual is always going to be enlightening. So what's coming through for you here? We do have the World, and the World is moving on, but still being a little bit protective of ourselves, which is a good card. It basically means being responsible, being realistic, being, optimistic, but at the same time, not idealistic. So this is a good card that basically means that your world is going to start to open up. There will be offers made for you, and there will be new people coming into your life. We have as well the Three of Cups. This is a card about socially dating, putting ourselves out there, meeting new people. So in terms of this month, especially for those of you who are single, you have some great people coming through, possibly a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. With the Three of Cups here, it indicates a social setting. You're just getting to know them. Don't jump the gun. Don't rush. Let it play out in a natural state. Give them 4 or 5 dates before you decide how you feel about them. A lot of the times we go on dates, right? And then right after the date, our girlfriends or boyfriends, depending on whatever, you know, gender you are and whatever gender you date, they call us and then they say like, oh, give us a scoop. How did it go? And then we start talking and talking and talking. And then in the process of talking, you either could like convince yourself that the other person's great, or you can convince yourself that the other person's not too great. I would advise you, don't jump the gun. Don't talk about it yet. Go on like a few dates and then decide based on all the experiences you have with that person, decide how you feel. That's when you should, you know, just let things happen naturally, and don't let other people steer you one way or the other, because I feel that you're trying to look for the one. So you might be dating quite a few people, and that's fine. You might also have like recently broken up, so you might be trying to fill in, you know, the time with dating other people. So give yourself some time to mourn, and then, you know, start dating somebody new. And then once you start dating somebody new, it's really important for you to like really just be alone with that experience, rather than, you know, letting other people's opinion affect how you feel. So give them a few dates before you decide on who to start dating exclusively, or who to, you know, move forward with, okay? But you do have some good prospects here, water sign, I feel. They're saying they might be a person that is foreign to you, like a different ethnicity, different race, different cultural background, linguistically as well. So it's somebody here that might be very, very different from you. They're very nurturing and very protective. So I feel like, you know, you might have told them on the first or second date about your past dating history, and they're just like, oh, come here. Like, it's somebody who's very nurturing, very warm, and they are understanding of, you know, everything that you've been through. So it's a good, overall good energy for new people coming through. And then those of you, I feel like you're dating new people, and you're getting like some type of contact with a person from your past. This is not a good person, okay? A lot of you might have dealt with a Aquarius, Gemini, Libra here with the Ten of Swords. This is not somebody that was truthful to you. And then others might have released, for whatever reason, released an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And I see an earth sign coming through, and I also see an air sign where the situation is not, it can't be reconciled. It can't be reconciled, okay? So I apologize, but just you can't bring this into the future with you, all right? So Sagittarius, I do wish you the best. Get out there and date. You have some really, really amazing prospects coming through. And you know, the Three of Cups basically means social dating, but it also means like multiple suitors as well. So you have some options opening up for you, all right? I do wish you all the best. And take care of yourself. I apologize for the delay with this reading. I try my best to, you know, do the recording, and I'm traveling right now, so the setup is a little bit different, okay? Just do things in moderation, okay? And if you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can visit my website. The information is in the description box below. And also, if you'd like to donate to my channel, I would be greatly appreciative. The link is in the description box as well. I will talk to you in the mid-month reading.